It amazes me that in 2025, we can still be stealing land from native people. So just like 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue and he discovered America. Woo! Did he really? Probably not. No, as a matter of fact, I don't think he did at all. What he did do maybe is come over here with armies and wipe out the people that had already discovered America, the Moors that were living here for a long time. That's probably more likely. But I just think it's funny, well, not funny, sad that we're still doing this. All right. These are tribes. These are tribes that have never seen loggers or cameras or other people. They're tribes in the middle of nowhere. And they've been living on the land for thousands of years. And all of a sudden, we need your trees. So guess what happens? So the logging companies come in and they steal these people's land and they cause chaos and wreak havoc. And I'm sure they're going to bring all sorts of disease and all sorts of stuff to these poor people that are just trying to live their lives like they've been doing for thousands of years. But, you know, this is the way of the world. This is the world that we live in. And unfortunately, until more people start waking up and getting angry over this type of shit, nothing's gonna change. But this has been going on forever, okay? Europeans have been going all over the world under the guise of Jesus and taking over the world. And, you know, I'm not saying that these loggers are doing that, but you get my drift, I'm sure. All right? When you understand really how the world has been taken over, how America has become what it is, and how everything has panned out the way it has a lot to do with the Knights Templars and early Christianity. Okay? And when you really look into that, you realize it's not about hugs and kisses. Okay? It's about horrible, horrible acts being performed on the people. So until people really start waking up, I don't know what to tell you. We need to start taking back truth, taking back the narrative. I'm so sick of like this whole, Israel, woo, we need to put an end, woo, yeah, go Israel. People that are shouting that, you're either trying to deceive other people or you really need to learn history pretty bad, desperately, because you have no idea. Israel, there's nothing holy about Israel, not even the name. Understand what the name even means. Isis, Ra, and El, the three ancient deities. This is not about Christianity and Jesus and hugs and kisses. All right? So please figure it out. For the love of God. It's so sad, man. People, rah, and you know what's even sadder? A lot of these people, oh yeah, go Israel, go, woo, woo. They're Christians. You have no idea the horror that's going on over there. None. You're supposed to be this godly person, this godly Christian. Oh, good for you. You're such a holy, awesome, amazing person. You have no clue the heinous acts that are going on over there. So give me a break. It's so pathetic, man. It's sad to me watching some of these people. It really is sad. You have no clue what you're praying to. You have no clue what you're doing. I really recommend you do research. I am a recovering Christian. I was a Catholic my whole life. I went to Catholic school for 9 years. I am educated Catholic. I became a pastor. And then I learned the truth, and I was appalled and disgusted. And now I teach the truth. I'm a pastor that teaches the truth. I believe in God, but if you're going to sit around and pretend to know what he looks like, you're full of shit. That's all I have to say. You're completely full of shit. That's it. You want to run around judging people. You know, the most judgmental people that I know of are Christians and Catholics, unfortunately. And they don't even know it. But they are. Oh, you're going to go to hell. You don't believe in hell. Oh, you're going to go to hell. Oh, you can't be... gays can't get married. Oh, it's the Bible. Only men with men. It really is sad. Why does that affect you? Why does it matter to you? What difference does that make? I have gay family. I have a lot of gay family members. Doesn't affect me. As a matter of fact, they're awesome. Amazing people. Their sexuality does not affect me. It shouldn't affect you. If it affects you, that's a personal problem. Jesus was about love. If you don't know that the Gospels were about love, you need to get back in there and start rereading, because you have no clue what you're talking about. None. Zero. And it's sad. You want to learn how to really read the Bible and learn what it's really about, you can check out my website. You can understand that every Messiah ever, since the beginning of mankind, has been the sun in the sky. All right? We have had polar deities, solar deities, and lunar deities, which means moon gods, sun gods, and star gods. These are all invented by the people because people desire truth. We need information. We need answers. It's a part of being a human. So we've, over thousands of years, started giving ourselves answers by creating stories for ourselves. Stories from the sky. All right, which is why the Bible is loaded with astronomy and astrology, the whole thing. So learn how to read it. And for those of you who don't believe me, just look in the Bible. Go ahead, take a peek. Talks about the stars all over the place. All right, the stars are in the Bible. Job 38:31 talks about the stars, talks about the Pleiades. All right, why is it talking about the Pleiades and talking about Orion? What are we talking about? We're talking about the stars. So why at the same time do Catholics tell you can't learn about the stars? Oh, you're going to burn in hell. Ah. That's a judgment call that you can't make because you're not God. Sorry. And number two, if I'm going to go to hell for learning about the stars, then why does the Bible refer to the stars? How come all the churches in Massachusetts, in Springfield, all the ones that I've been to, have the zodiac signs in the stained glass in the church? Why is that? Why would that be if the zodiac was so horrible? Most people don't realize when they're saying the Our Father, okay, the word kingdom means zodiac. That's what the word means. Go ahead and get a Bible dictionary. Look it up. It means the zodiac. So most people have no idea of this. The Bible is about the Son of God, the sun in the sky, our risen Savior that brings light to the earth. Of course, the sun brings light and life to the earth. Learn the story. It's a fascinating story and it's deep. And it has to do with ancient deities and all sorts of cool stuff. It's pretty amazing. I don't know why more people don't want to learn the truth, because the truth is way cooler than the fictionist, shitty nonsense that we get. I don't get it. You know, the fictional crap. But people would rather believe fictional nonsense because it's an absolute answer. That's why. What you realize the more research you do is there really is no absolute answer. At the end of the day, you're still left with questions. And some humans are never going to be satisfied with that. They need an absolute. So they're going to reach for whatever's there. And unfortunately, just because you have something in your hand doesn't mean it's real. So a lot of people are reaching for something just to have that something because as a human, we desire truth and answers. We need to know. It's just part of our psychology, man. It's a part of our brain, our design. We are built in the image of the Elohim, of the gods. We are powerful, man. We are far more powerful than we are told. We have abilities that we don't realize, man. We're superhuman. And until you realize that, you're just going to be a sheep. You're going to be part of the herd. And you're not going to know. Start to realize you are important. You are here for a reason. This earth is not spinning and flying through the galaxy. You know why? Because if it was, number one, we wouldn't be able to look at the same stars every night that the ancient people were looking at. And stop it with the Thuban was the North Star. I have 25 to 30 books on ancient Egypt. Not a single one of them says that. So that's Google research. Google is owned by Alphabet Inc., who's owned by BlackRock. Enough. I don't care about Google. It's a joke. You can use Google, and then you can use another browser, put them side by side, and you get two completely different things. So I'm sorry. I don't believe everything I read on Google. You have to do research. You have to go to libraries. You have to go to college libraries. You have to do research. You have to talk to people, talk to other professionals, other researchers, priests, pastors, everyone. I've talked to so many people, rabbis, priests, ask them real questions. The last conversation I had with a priest was a good one. He was a Greek priest from a Greek church in Springfield, and he was actually honest for the first time in a long time. I haven't talked to an honest priest, because I asked him, who is Lucifer really? I said, and don't tell me it's a man with horns, because I don't want to hear that. I said, I've done probably more research than you have on this topic, so please don't lie. I said, I don't need you to lie. I need you to be honest, because I'm trying to see what you know. I want to know what you know. I said, I'm not videotaping you. I'm not going to tell, I'm not going to tell your name, and I'm not going to let people know who you are. I promise. And he said, Lucifer is the morning star, the planet Venus. I said, thank you. So, there are some truthful people out there. Unfortunately, he's not going to stand in front of his church and say that, but he believes it and he knows it. And that's the thing. There are a lot of people that know this stuff out there, and they keep it to themselves for fear of ridicule, because if people, unfortunately, a lot of people out there will ridicule people for their information, which is weird. Like, dude, I'm just repeating information that I've read in hundreds of different books now. I mean, hundreds and hundreds. After a while, you start to read it so many times where you have to choose. What do you believe? Do you believe something that is a fantasy, or do you believe something that's probably legit because it's just been documented so many times? Jesus is not historical. There's Josephus. Okay, a lot of people like to say, oh, Josephus wrote about Jesus. The only person to ever write about Jesus. Actually, a historian that documented actual living people, because he was a court clerk or historian, and he would document the people, everyone that was born. And there is documentation in that of Jesus, the only person that's ever documented him. But for a guy that lived such an amazing life, doing magic and performing miracles and walking on water and some incredible things, there was absolutely nothing in Josephus's writing about that. All it wrote was that there was a man named Jesus. He had a mom and a dad, and he was a man, and like, that's it. They didn't, he was a carpenter. They didn't write anything. They wrote a blip about him. Then other researchers have come out over the last 50 years, 100 years, saying that the handwriting does not match Josephus's handwriting, which means they added it after he passed away, which means it's not real. So even the one guy who supposedly documented information about Jesus, he's not, that information is not even real. It's been forged. So, there is no proof. I'm sorry. I believe that if he was a man, maybe he was a preacher, he was a teacher, he went around, he showed people love, he tried to teach Christ consciousness, which is raising the Christ oil, the oil that's in your pineal gland that has to transmute and come back up through all of your chakras. That's what it's about. Most people don't want to learn it because they're stubborn. But it is what it is. If you want to learn, you can go to my website, withthesun33.com. It's a free website. You can become a member, $5 a month. I put all of my books on the members only page, so you can download them all if you become a member. I'm trying to put up extra content and extra stuff, and a podcast that I did make, and I have like 10 episodes. I haven't dropped it yet. I'm just waiting, man, for that perfect episode to drop all of them at the same time. I love you all. I hope to see you at my website. This is my opinion.